Welcome back, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 12th science biology and we are going to see the chapter number 4, that is reproductive health. First, we are going to see the basics of this chapter, and this is the last chapter of this unit, that is reproduction. We have seen the reproduction in organisms, then we saw the reproduction in flowering plants, then we saw the reproduction in humans, and now we are going to see that what exactly a reproductive health is. So now, first we will see about the basic introduction, and then we are going to see that what kind of methods are being used in order to maintain the reproductive health as well as how to control the population. Okay, so first is reproductive health. So it is defined as the total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. So when we are talking about reproductive health, that is the total well-being in terms of reproduction, whether a person is properly healthy for reproduction or not, that is the reproductive health. Now, India as a country ensures reproductive health to all. So, you might have heard that there are several seminars which are organized at the school level, right, in order to generate the awareness related to the reproductive health, and this has been occurring since 1951, and the successive governments have introduced a number of programs to ensure this. So in order to give the education related to the reproductive health, different governments also have placed or introduced several programs such as family planning and reproductive and child healthcare programs. So these are the examples of several programs which are being introduced in order to understand the reproductive health in a proper manner. Right now, when we are talking about reproductive health, the aim of these programs, so the family planning as well as the RCH, these two of the programs, what are the aims of them? So the aims of this program is to create awareness among the people about the various aspects of reproductive health. So the main thing is to create the awareness amongst the people where that they should maintain their how they should maintain their reproductive health, and what they can do to ensure or do what should they do in order to keep themselves healthy in terms of reproduction. There is several audio visual aids and pamphlets which have been developed by both governmental and non-governmental organizations, right? So governmental and non-governmental organizations, as you might be knowing about several NGOs or social workers, right, which are doing this awareness or creating awareness amongst the people by giving several pamphlets, or the audios are also being played, as well as several short films, or we can say visuals. They are also being made in order to create awareness among the people. Same way, when you go to watch a movie in a theater, in like before starting the movie, then also they are placing such videos in order to they are giving short films, right, to develop the awareness, and this awareness or this particular things are being carried out by several government organizations as well as the private organizations also. Next is this awareness is being created among school children by introducing sex education in schools. So this is very important because every child should understand the reproduction in a proper manner in order to create awareness as well as to maintain personal hygiene, right? So several seminars are also been introduced on the sex education in the school at the school level. Now, it is essential to provide medical assistance to people with problems related to STDs, pregnancy, contraception, and infertility, especially in villages. Now, we know that in village, the people are not that much aware about all these things, about the hygiene, right? About what the medical assistance they can get. So there are several problems which the persons or the people are facing in the village area. So in that like in accordance with that, people should be given proper medical assistance in order to treat the several disease like STDs, that is sexually transmitted disease, which we are going to study in detail in upcoming chapter, right? Then pregnancy related, what the particular mother should take care of and what should she eat. So all these things. Another is contraception, that is how they should control the like population, right? So for that also the awareness should be created. Other than that, the infertility, this is one of the major problem which the present world is facing, right? People are like, due to not proper environmental conditions as well as the food habits, and there are several other reasons due to which the hormones are not being uh, properly released inside the body, and due to this the person becomes infertile, right? And for this reason, both the partners have to face so many problems in terms of reproduction. So at this point also, there should be proper medical assistance which should be given to this type of people, right? Now there is amniocentesis, that is fetal sex determination, that is being banned in India, right? Whether the developing baby inside the womb is a female or male, right? So the particular sex determination method through which the chromosomal pattern is formed, and with the help of this chromosomal pattern we can easily understand whether the developing baby is a male or female, right? But this has been banned due to the check of the female foeticide. That is, uh, initially in the previous time the people were undergoing the amniocentesis to know whether if the baby girl is there, then they were killing those female fetuses, right? So the government banned, and they introduced a law in order that the doctors as well as the hospitals should not undergo the sex determination process, that is amniocentesis, right? So this is the basic of this chapter, and all these things we are going to study in detail in this upcoming chapter. Now, a population explosion. Population explosion means nowadays you know that population is been increasing, and as the population increases, several other needs as well as needs are increasing, right? So improvement in the quality of life due to all-round development, that is better health facilities and improved conditions of living. This has led to a large increase in the world population, that is around 1 billion in the year 2000, right? So in the year 2000 there was the world population which was seen was 1 billion, and now this 1 billion has converted to several billions, right? So this is thing that due to the overall development, right, and the quality of life, what has happened, the better health facilities are also been given, as well as there are several improved conditions also, and due to this the population has increased a lot. Now the causes of population explosion are two. The two main one is there is decline in the death rate, that is the ratio, or there is a decrease in the deaths, right? And on the other hand, there is increase in the number of people and the reproducible age. So the the birth ratio is comparatively more than the death ratio. So for this reason, these are the two main important causes for the population explosion. That is why the population is increasing day by day, right? Now, population explosion causes a scarcity of every basic need. Now, what a person needs, right? So, the basic needs of a person is home, that is shelter, food, and clothes, right? So, these are the three things what a basic need is, right? So, population explosion, when like it causes, if the population increases, so there will be definitely the scarcity, that will be the decrease in the basic need which will be observed, right? So more the population, less will be the basic needs. Therefore it has become essential to check this increase in population. So for this reason, uh, every year the government check, as well as they prepare a list in which the particular details of all the families has been given, that what is the total increase in the population in the particular year. Now, one child norm increasing the marriageable age and promoting contraceptive methods are some of the ways to check population explosion. So have to check. So one child norm, that is whether a family is having only a single child, right? Or as well as the increasing the marriageable age, that is in the shorter ages or in the like smaller ages also, like the adults, or we can say the younger child or the teens, they should not be promoted to, yeah, do the marriage, right? For this reason, contraceptive methods are also being introduced in order to control the population. So these are several ways through which you can check whether the population is increasing or not. Now, there is the main thing, that is the contraceptive methods which are being used in today at present day life, right? And this contraceptive methods are being used in order to control the population. So if it is asked that what are the methods to control the population, then you have to write the 6 contraceptive methods. Now in contraceptive methods through media, you know that in several videos also, there is this particular slogan has been given, hum do hamare do, right? So through this, we can understand that a person or a family should not have more than 2 kids in order to control the population, right? So this is one of the like thing which which everyone should keep in mind. Next is Saheli is one of the contraceptive method which is developed by scientists in CDRI, that is Central Drug Research Institute, and Saheli is a female drug, and these pills are useful in order to control the childbirth, right? So Saheli is a contraceptive pill and which has been developed by several scientists in CDRI, right? The full form of CDRI can be asked in the MCQ also. Now the 6 main methods are, the first is natural methods, and the second, all the from 2 to 6, this all methods are artificial methods, right? So first, there are 2 main basic methods, that is natural methods, and the second one is the artificial methods. In artificial methods, barrier method is there, then IUDs are there, that is intrauterine device. Then oral contraceptives are there, injectable as well as implants. And the last one, that is the surgical methods. Now we are going to see all of them in detail. Now it is essential to ensure birth control to check explosion, right? That is, if we want to study or check the population explosion, that how much it has increased, right? It is like we should ensure the birth control. So in order to understand that how much of increase is observed, for this reason first you need to control the birth, and for this controlling mechanism the contraceptive methods are being used. Now successive governments have come out with various programs that encourage smaller families by means of various contraceptive methods. Now see, initial days, what was the scenario was that in each family, more than 5 children were observed. But nowadays, you can see that there are several, the successive governments, they have come out with several programs in which they are encouraging the smaller families, right? And due to this, due to the encouragement by the government, even other people are also being aware about forming the smaller families rather than the larger ones. Now the contraceptive methods are of 2 basic types, the natural as well as the artificial. First we are going to see about the natural methods, right? So in the natural methods, that is simply the avoiding of the coming together of the ovum and sperm. So this is that you are not allowing the ovum and sperm to fertilize or come in contact with each other. So there are 3 different types of the natural methods. The first is periodic absistence, right? This is the avoiding of coitus from the day 10 to 17. That is, from day 10 to 17, this is said to be the most fertile period, as the ovulation is taking place on the 14th day. So nearby to this days, right? So in the menstrual cycle from the day 10 to day 17, right, the person should avoid the coitus or the meeting or the intercourse, and due to this there will be the less chances of meeting of the sperm with the ovum. Next is the coitus interruptus, that is withdrawal of penis before the ejaculation. So before a man ejects or ejaculation of the semen occurs inside the female, before that the penis has been withdrawn from the vagina. So for this reason the semen is not entering into the female's body, and due to this what happens is the coitus is interrupted. The third is the lactational amenorrhea, that is the absence of menstruation during the lactation. So, if a particular lady is lactating, at that time there will be absence of menstruation, and due to this, in the lactation period, the chances of conception are almost zero. So, when a particular lady is in the lactational phase or lactation period, there will be less chances of getting pregnant. So these are the three main basic methods which are used or which are seen in the natural methods. Next is the artificial methods. In the artificial method, the first method is the barrier method, right? So in the barrier method, there is use of condoms, right? The condoms are thin rubber which are used to cover penis in male or vagina and cervix in the females, right? So there are two main basic condoms which are available. First is of the males and second is of the females. The males is wearing the condoms on their penis to cover it, and in the female it has been placed inside the vagina or the cervix. Next, there is also diaphragms, right, as well as cervical caps and as well as walls. So these are also several barriers which are used for females to cover the cervix region so that the sperms cannot enter inside the uterus and reach to the fallopian tube. Now, what are the advantages of the barrier method? So first is they are disposable, so you can easily dispose them. Second is they can be self-inserted, so you do not need any specialized nurse or doctor for inserting it. Third is they are reusable. Sometimes, not all the time, but few barrier methods they can be reused again. And the fourth is it prevents conception by blocking the entry of sperm to the cervix. So as it is one of the method through which the sperms are not allowed to come in the contact with the ovum. So this is also a kind of prevention only, that the lady cannot get pregnant. So this is about the first method, that is the barrier method. The second method is intrauterine devices. The short form is IUDs, right? And these are the devices which are inserted by doctors or the nurses in the uterus through vagina. So this intrauterine devices, intra means inside, uterine means uterus, and the devices. So those devices which are placed inside the uterus, that is known as intrauterine devices. Next is there are several examples of in IUDs, right? And here these are the examples, that is copper T, then CUs, that is copper 7, then multi-load 375, lips loop. These are all examples of the IUDs, right? The copper ions are released which suppress the sperm motility and fertilizing capacity of sperms. So this copper ions which are released with when the copper D is placed, right, at that time, this copper ions are released at the time of the ejaculation part, and due to this copper ions they act upon the sperm and it decreases the motility of the sperm as well as the fertilizing capacity also, and due to this what happens is the sperms are not able to fertilize the ovum. Next is there the other are hormone releasing IUDs, that is the IUDs which are placed, they are responsible for releasing several hormones which does not allow the fertilization of the sperm and the ovum. So this makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation. So even though the fertilization occurs, but still implantation is not done. And for this reason, this hormone releasing IUDs, they bring about some changes in the uterus and it becomes unsuitable for the zygote to implant itself inside the layer of the uterus. Now, this was the second. Now, the third is the oral pills, that is the contraceptive pills, which are taken daily for 21 days. So, these oral pills are a combination of the hormones, right? And they are very effective with less side effects. So, there are less side effects of these pills and they are very effective. The example of the oral pill is Saheli, and this is the new oral contraceptive which is containing a non-steroidal preparation. Most of the oral pills they are containing the steroidal content, but this is one of the oral pill, that is Saheli, which is a non-steroidal, right? Now, it is a once a week pill with high contraceptive value. Few oral pills are once a week pill and they have a very high contraceptive value that they can easily act upon the whole process and they can stop the fusion of the male and female gametes. Next is injection or implantation of progesterone estrogen under the skin is done. So this oral pills are also being given in the form of injections, right? Or they are also being or implantation of progesterone or estrogen can also be given under the skin also, right? So this is about the next, that is oral pills. Now we are going to see about the surgical methods, right? Surgical method, surgical, that is related to the surgery, right? So this is the method which is used or which is this is the method which is also known as sterilization. That is, the particular person is becoming sterile. So how they are becoming sterile, let's see. So it is advisable for male or female partner as a terminal method to prevent any more pregnancy. So either a male or a female, they can undergo, not both of them, any one of the partner may undergo this surgery in order to control the birth of the babies, or we can say in order to control the population. So in males, it is known as, the surgery is known as vasectomy, and in female this surgery is known as tubectomy, right? So in males, what happens is their vas deferens is cut or tied. So in order, as they tie or they cut the vas deferens, for this reason, whatever sperms are coming, they all are not able to pass to the penis and it is not ejected out. And on the other hand, when we are talking about females, right, the tubectomy, where a small part of the fallopian tube is cut or tied up. So in the females, the fallopian tube is either cut or it is tied. So for this reason, the ovum is not able to pass further, and due to this, there is no fertilization which is observed. So this method is highly effective, uh, right? But their reversibility is very poor. So once if they are tying or cutting, so after the surgery, the reversibility, that is, if a person wants to come back to the normal one, so the reversibility is very less. So this is very effective, but the reversibility will be very poor. So these are the 6 methods which you have seen of the contraception, or we can say contraceptive methods. I hope you are very clear with today's topic, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.